Hey guys, Ryan here with the programming for the week of March 25th, the last week of March. This is our CVC commitment week, or commitment test week, and also we're done with the open, so we're adding on Saturdays the lifting progressions class back to the schedule, and on Saturdays from now on we're going to do level method testing or progressions as well in the 9 a.m. class. So starting Monday in CrossFit, we've got this kind of reverse Annie sequence as an ascending rep scheme with jump ropes and air squats instead of sit-ups. So this will be a little bit faster than Annie, except for that it's ascending, which could slow you down as the work increases instead of decreases. But then you flip that on its head and you have a descending rep scheme for the sit-ups and dumbbell snatches, which will keep that moving very intensely. So this day will be pretty intense because you're going to stay moving on those air squats and then brace the burn with that. And then you're going to keep your pace up as the reps descend in the second couplet with the dumbbells and sit-ups. You're not doing so many sit-ups there that day that you won't be able to do a good extra credit cash out there, and we expect to have plenty of time to do that. So expect to do this that day and work on some kind of strict ab work or core work with the bar if you want, and then work on your pulling motion with the elevated ring rows. And also we'll get some good jump rope practice and skill work in that day as well. For CVC, we've got a confidence workout. This is one of those, it's always fun. It kind of alternates two aerobic movements with two core and shoulder stability movements. So you've got rowing followed by that goblet up down, which is basically trying to maintain good upright posture and positioning as you're kind of having to move yourself through space, and then back to an aerobic higher intensity work with the box jumps. And then the overhead dumbbell walk will be very interesting as you're trying to brace yourself with these two dumbbells kind of independently pressed out overhead. Then we got to cash out with bird prickers that kind of work your legs independently as well. It's just like basically a single leg deadlift. By the way, if you do that on Monday, you'll still be able to do the CVC commitment test on Tuesday, the following day. So you should be able to do both. You don't have to skip a day to get ready for that test. On Tuesday for CrossFit, we've got an interval here. It's very anaerobic, meaning it's high intensity, but you get plenty of rest. It's like our commitment workouts in CVC. So a minute of deadlifts, a minute of rest, a minute of kipping pull-ups or ring rows, and then a minute of rest, and then planks, which could be weighted planks, which are those numbers there below the plank, and then a minute of rest. You'll cycle through that 3 times. So you may have the idea that you want to increase weight on this because we have a strong deadlifting community, but let the time and the reps and good form and the high intensity of those deadlifts do the work. If you're having to sacrifice the number of reps and your form over the course of a minute to get those reps in, just to add 20 or 30 pounds to the bar, you may not get as much overall tonnage in as if you just stayed at the suggested weight here and kept moving and kept that intensity high through this. This could be an easy workout because there's as much rest as you do work, but it should be like one of the hardest workouts you do because it should be very tough to work the entire minute at that high intensity, especially at the deadlifts and the pull-ups and ring rows. Expect to take breaks during the ring rows and the pull-ups, though. And then we've got a cash out there to cool down the shoulders after that, holding onto the bar and doing the planks and trying to keep the lats engaged with those deadlifts. Our commitment test, we've done this a couple times now, so we're seeing how we're improving with this, of recording this as we go. So the last time we would have done this would have been the last month of last week of December. You would have results for this in Zen Planner. We're going to squat heavy that day, and then the next day in CrossFit, we're going to squat heavy as well. So if you're doing CVC on Tuesday, expect to do some heavy squats. So you're going to do the same thing on Wednesday as well in CrossFit. So plan accordingly. So we got a strength work with front squats to start the class. And then you've got this very high intensity workout, just an 8-minute AMRAP of heavy front squats, 3 or 5 of them, followed by burpees over the bar or burpees. The hardest part here is trying to keep that intensity high but still being able to clean up that heavy weight and get into a good front squat position. If you think at any point during this you might fail on that clean, then you need to go ahead and pick a weight that you know you're not going to fail on. If you think at any point during this workout you're not going to be able to do those three front squats unbroken, you'll have to do multiple cleans to get through this workout, then you're going to have to drop weight on this. So be very careful. Let the intensity do the work for you, as opposed to trying to do something really heavy just for the sake of being heavy. Let the intensity do the work here. We've got a hip hump day, our hump day hit class in Stanton. We're back to a partner workout that day. This should be fun. You've got a 3-minute AMRAP of these 2 couplets. So while one partner is trying to accumulate calories on the ski erg, either 8 calories for guys or 6 calories for ladies, the other person is accumulating slam ball cleans. So if you were to score this, the score would be essentially the number of cleans that you and your partner can get done in 3 minutes. So the ski erg is just telling you when you need to swap out movement. So once a guy has hit 8 calories on the ski ergs, it's time to swap who's doing the work, and then keep counting how many cleans you end up getting done as a group. Same strategy for the next couplet after a minute of rest with the dumbbell clusters and the tuck jump overs. The tuck jump overs would be what you score. By the way, those clusters, if you don't know what those are a clean to a thruster. So you drive the dumbbells up to your shoulders, and then coming out of a full squat, you'll do a press overhead like a thruster, and then reset that. Clean to the shoulders, full squat to a thruster. And this will be a 24-minute workout with 3 rounds. On Thursday in CrossFit, it's been a while since we've done some rope climbs. They didn't really fit into the open schedule, so now we've got a chance to do some rope climbs. I love the scaling options for this. This will be a quick workout, so we have time to go over some snatch work, and we have some time to talk about rope climbing technique as well. So you see at the purple, you start your work with 4 rope climbs. And we want to be able to keep those rope climbs quick. This is a quick workout, and then jump right into those power snatches, get right back to that rope, knock out 3 rope climbs, and then so forth. At blue, we scale to just 2 rope climbs each round, because for some people, if they do more than 2 each round, they're going to really slow down this workout. We want to avoid that. We want to keep efficient rope climb technique, and we'll talk about that in class. At orange, you see we just do 5 ground rope pulls. And what that is essentially our seated rope climbs, where you start with your butt, hips under the rope, and walk all the way up the rope to full extension, and then back down to your butt. Or you come more of a plank position and walk up to standing that way. You're going to pick the option that works best for you. And if you don't want to do that option, you can do that option with the seated rope climbs at the yellow and white if you want to that day as well. But if you don't want to mess with the ropes, we've got jumping pull-ups as the option there. The reason it's jumping pull-ups is to keep that intensity high through this. It'll be a fairly short workout, which allows us to teach you some good technique stuff, but you still got a good cash out there with just slowing down the heart rate and working on some aerobic conditioning with those runs or a row if possible. So aerobic, you do the cash out on that day with the running or the rowing for aerobic conditioning. And vitality that day and CVC, it is all about cardio. There is just so much movement in this day. The versions of the burpees, the running man, the sumo deadlift high pulls, the thrusters, your body is going to be moving through big ranges of motion that day. Really pace yourself. Look at those burn factors, 7, 8, 9 the whole time. Make sure you come out at a 7. Slow down there when you start this, all right? And then try to build with that intensity. On Friday, very interesting workout here. You've got 3 rounds of some type of STOH, that's shoulders to overhead, or just push presses. Most people will be doing push press until they get so fatigued they end up doing push jerks there. You'll get a review on that in class. And then you'll take that bar, put it in the front rack position on your shoulders, and do lunges with that bar, and go for a 200-meter run. And I'm sure that's going to feel good after all those lunges. 3 rounds of that's going to take you about 12 minutes. And then you get to rest until the 15-minute point, where you do all that work again, but at a heavier weight with less reps. And that will probably take you to the 25-minute mark or so. So a longer workout here, but there is some rest planned in it. You're just going to make sure you stay efficient with your push presses or push jerks when you're going overhead, breaking those up strategically so you're not doing extra reps and stuff when you're getting that bar back to your shoulder for your presses or your front rack lunges. Trying to keep moving on those lunges without having to break them up, and then pacing your run so you can come back and get right to work with that barbell again. We're at Friday. So Friday, this one is an interesting day. It's another day that's got like 2 high intensity movements followed by something that's kind of more challenging to the core. So the forward back pedal is at that 9, the slam ball is at that 9 high intensity, but then you do some core work in between there, and you'll see how good that core feels while you're trying to maintain those plank positions with the dumbbell renegade row. It's going to work the upper body there. So do not have the lifting progressions programming done yet, so you don't see a slide for that. I'm sure Joby will come up with something fun for you guys then. So for the 9 o'clock class on Saturday, we're doing the aerobic power intervals test for the level method. If you haven't done this is a chance to get this done and get closer to getting your overall level, or a chance to redo this if you want to and maybe increase your overall level. So this is a 17-minute workout. You get 2 minutes of rest during those 17 minutes. So it is about aerobic conditioning, sustained work, doing the most work you can do every 5 minutes in between those minutes of rest there. Confidence on Saturday to end the week here. This one is kind of a sneaky day here. You're going to get a sneaky upper body workout, even though you may not realize it looking at this because you're going to get distracted by that wall sit. But with the kettlebell rack and farmer's carry, so having to hold that kettlebell in a rack position and then later on do break dancers. And even when you're not holding that kettlebell in the rack position, you're holding it as a farmer's carry. That's really going to be taxing to the whole upper body, the front, the chest, and the back and the shoulders. And I think that's going to sneak up on you. It's going to be a great upper body workout without having to do things like push-ups and stuff. So it's really about maintaining good functionality with the shoulders there. Real life stuff there, carrying stuff. And if you're a break dancer, I guess real life stuff there for if you're a break dancer. And then we'll keep kind of the cardio theme going there with 4 minutes of jump rope practice afterwards. All right. See you guys later this week. Thanks.